Is this thing on? I'm sure it is. My name's Commander Pausanias, and today what I want to show you is a fix that I've found for a problem that has been bugging me for a long time. I'm using a Quest 3. I think I've got the same problem in the Quest 2, which I used to have as well, but on planetary approaches you get black spikes appearing at the extremities of your view, and I'm going to try and recreate it by going down to this this planet. They're only very brief, but there's like a graphical glitch of like a black spike at the very, I've just seen a few there on the right hand side, on the periphery of your view. They're very distracting because when you see them you sort of like want to look and see what it is, but got some more there. And the purpose of this video is really to show you how to get rid of those spikes. I'll go down and actually drop out of Super Cruise, Orbital Cruise, and I can see them on the left and right. I hope the video's recording them too. They only seem to occur on planets where there are no ground bases as such. If you go to like an engineered planet, I don't see them, and planets that have got bases and things like that on, they don't seem to be affected by them. But this particular planet I'm going to at the moment has got no bases or anything like that on it, and the spikes are quite bad. If you've seen them in your VR headset, you'll know exactly what I'm on about. I just saw one then on the right hand side when I was moving my head round. So yeah, quite a bad one there. Right, so I'm going to go back up into orbit and I'll show you the fix for it. Now you're going to need the Oculus debug tool, which hopefully I'll show you where to find that in a second. Let me just get back into orbit properly. That should be far enough. Okay, pull up here. Right, if you go to your search and start typing Oculus, and it's come up there, look, Oculus debug tool. So find that on your computer. If you're using a Quest 2 or 3, you should have this application because it's built into the software. Just as a sideline to this, I have been in touch with Oculus about this issue easily a year ago, and I didn't know about the fix I'm about to show you then. But the thing is that Oculus told me that they were going to be discontinuing the Oculus debug tool as a tool within the Oculus package. So once you've found the original program, if I was you, I'd make a copy of it somewhere else on your computer, just in case a future update overwrites the folder which it's in and gets rid of it, because it's an extremely useful tool. So I've got the debug tool at the bottom of my screen as in the tray. Now what we need to look at is this FOV tangent multiplier. Normally when you open the debug tool it looks like this. That would be 0, but I'm going to cover that in a different video about the best VR settings in my opinion at the moment, but for now that would be showing 0 on yours, and probably this asynchronous spacewalk will also either be showing disabled or auto, but generally it's auto. So down in this bottom section there are 4 settings which I've changed a long time ago that seem to work, and that is the distortion curvature low, the encode resolution width to 3648, encode bitrate 450, and the link sharpening set to normal. Every time you load up, once you've changed those will stay as they are, but these other ones will need to be set each time you load the game up. So if you click on this little plus here next to the FOV tangent multiplier, you've got 0, 0 at the moment. Type in the horizontal box 1.1. In the vertical box type 1, and in the FOV stencil turn it off. Now once you've made those changes, you'll need to go back to main menu, type escape.
Okay.
I think you only need to go back to main menu, you don't need to log out completely. Come back into the game. You see that flickering that's occurring there? I'm going to show you a fix for that as well at the end of this video. But for now, we're just dealing with the spikes. Now, that setting of 1.1, if you still see a minute amount of spikes by the side on the left or right, you can alter that to 1.2. And that should clear it all together. But if you alter it to 1.2, I've started seeing not spikes but black squares appear at 6 o'clock below on the vision instead. So 1.1, try that first, see how you get on with it, and then perhaps go to 1.2 if you're still getting them. But the thing is that the two settings, the horizontal and the vertical, must be different. If you put 1.1 into both of them, all you do is make the problem the same size as it was before, and it doesn't cure it. So we're coming down now on the 1.1 setting. So far, no spikes. Let's pick somewhere to land. That grey area there looks flat. But I'm just seeing tiny spikes at the side of the screen at the moment, so I'm going to go back into orbit. They're much less pronounced than what they were. Right, so I'm going to change that to 1.2. Log out, type escape.
Loud and clear.
I think I'm going to quit to desktop, force the issue. I think when I've sorted this out before, I normally set these settings up before I even launch the game. So I'm going to go back to desktop and do it from there. I'm actually pretty sure you've got to do it this way for it to take effect. Just wait for the game to reload. I might tag in about adjusting the Guardian on this video as well while I'm at it. And again, we're going to see that flickering, but I'm going to show you how to get rid of that as well with the debug tool. Fantastic piece of kit. Right. I'm sure if you go back to desktop with 1.1 in there, you'll probably find that's going to be sufficient for you. But try the 1.1 first, and then go on to 1.2 if it's not worked out. Right, so we'll go back to the planet, which is going to be a long way away. flickering that you keep seeing, to me, has always been prevalent when I've been on foot, and it's really annoying, especially when you're in a base. But that's an instant fix. When I fix it, you'll see it straight away. For now, I'm just dealing with the black spikes. Just making sure I'm coming down. Yep, this is the planet that's got no bases on it. That's an old obsidian ant trick there. If you're going to overshoot, turn the ship down 90 degrees so your dot's at the top of the screen. Throttle back, wait for the engine noise to drop, and then throttle back up and come back to centre, and you'll find you probably won't overshoot. I've already scanned this planet, probed it, so hence the green areas. Turn that off. Right, so we'll go down to the planet surface and hopefully we won't see any black spikes at all now. Let's go down to that pink area. But the thing is as I approach a planet like this, I like to look around in the VR, and I used to get these black spikes coming in from the side, particularly when you were moving your head around, and they're just really annoying. Nothing yet. We'll land in that gully, I think. Still nothing. As I said previously, you must make sure that the horizontal and the vertical, are two different numbers. I tried setting them both to 1.1 and the issue just came back again. I think you'll get away with 1.1 quite easily. Nothing. So that's black spikes cured. I'm going to go down onto the planet now and I'm going to show you how to cure the flickering as well. Prep for landing on.
Transferring power to systems, slowing down, also lowering gear. Commander, you now have the con.
Right, you should see it most when I just get out of the ship. It's on the bottom third of the image. There we go. Look at that. Terrible. It's really bad. So I've noticed that if I go back to the ship and press to go back in, when this screen's up, it's really terrible. You can see all these black interference flickering. Right, I'm just going to have to come out of that window, but back to the Oculus debug tool. I'll try and do this straight off, but you see the PC asynchronous space warp. If you change that from auto to disabled, stops straight away. Put it back on, starts again. So if I set that to disabled, it's cured, and that's that. That can be done in game while you're actually playing it. Now, if this is already disabled when you launch the Oculus debug tool, just go to the force 45 frames per second disabled first, go into game, and then once you're actually up and running, just change it to disabled. Not entirely sure what 45 frames per second does, but it does. I don't want anything limiting me to 45 frames per second, so I'll leave it at disabled. So that's a cure for your black spikes and a cure for the flickering as well. The other thing that I hope you can see on the video, I'll just do a bit of a close-up of that so you can see it. So FOV tangent multiplier, you can collapse that and open it up, but you put the horizontal to 1.1 or 1.2, vertical leave it at 1 exactly. I'm going to do another video about this 1.6 up here, which on your version might be a 0, but as I say, if you set these low, 3648, 450 and normal, they're good settings to have in your debug tool as well. Oh yeah, you've got to use FOV stencil off as well. It makes some difference, and you need to go back to desktop to make these work. But like I said earlier, best thing to do is to set them up before you launch the game in the first instance, and then you're straight in on that. Now I'll just cover the Guardian thing. So I'm going to go back to my desktop. On the settings button here, second one down, Guardian, you've got adjust Guardian, and if you click on that, you can look at the floor, set up the Guardian, and then come back to this, and that will give you a dead straight line of the black line going out in front of you. Then you can get this and you can get it straight so it runs along one of the lines. So you've got your desktop nicely positioned in there. Then when you go back to the game, you can then square yourself up to that line. So again, we've got no flickering at all now. And I'm sitting in the cab and I can see just enough of my toes at the top of there to know that I'm sitting straight, looking straight forward in the VR as well. And that's just a little bit extra for the Guardian tool. I hope that video has been useful to you. Leave us a like and considering subscribing, and let me know how you get on in the comments as well. I'm going to go on and do another video probably tomorrow about the quality of the VR. I have found some settings with a bit of trial and error that are giving me the best VR experience quality of Elite Dangerous I have ever had in 10 years. So it's a video that's worth me putting up and watching at your end. The other thing is, I don't know if you can see this, but even though I'm in the ship, I'm currently running at about 60 frames a second. On foot I'm getting much better frames per second because of the graphical settings that I'm using. So again, hopefully all that's been useful to you. I'm Commander Pausanias, and I'll see you on the next one. Thanks for watching.